So today's video is going to be very helpful for people that are planning to relocate to Virginia Beach or the area around Virginia Beach and are trying to start planning trips or start planning a little bit more in depth as to where they want to move, just get a better feel of what the areas in Virginia Beach are actually like. And what I'm going to do is show you what I do to help people when they plan to come here for research trips, as far as what you should focus on when you're here, and also tips for how to create your own route of neighborhoods to check out to see which ones you like and don't like. Hey, my name is Sam Sansalone, and I'm a real estate agent in the Hampton Roads area, and it goes from Virginia Beach through Williamsburg, and I do videos every week about living and moving to the area. I try and help people in their transition period, in their research period, to figure out what the best spots are for them to live. And so I often create a route, a kind of a plan for their trip, so that when they get here, they'll have a specific order of places to see as they go through the area, that they will then be able to figure out what spots they like, what spots they don't like, ones they can just throw out and not worry about at all anymore, because the area is so large, or can feel large. This is a good way to condense it and make it feel a lot smaller. There are a couple of other videos that I have done a lot in detail of talking about the areas in Virginia Beach through Williamsburg, as far as the vibes, what's around the area, what it feels like, the houses, etc. Number one is Living in Virginia Beach and Hampton Roads, a Virginia Beach area explained. And the second one is Living in Virginia Beach, everything you need to know. Those two combined will focus on first Virginia Beach, but also give you a full perspective of the area to figure out, okay, what spots do I want to focus on first? So you can watch those, and then this video is to help you also then focus on what to do on your research trip, how to create a route for seeing the specific neighborhoods you want to see. Here is the best way to curate the best spots to look for. The first thing to do is, to get a lay of the land, is you want to be able to know what places to drive to. So then you'll have some frame of reference as to the whole area that you're focusing on. So in Virginia Beach, we're going to use Virginia Beach as an example. So what I'm doing is, based on the person's price range, figure out what are I almost call them bookends or guardrails. What are the highest price points that someone's looking for, and finding neighborhoods that might fit that best, and also the lowest price point that they're looking for, and see what areas might be best for them there. Then I'll put houses in quadrants that are of most interest on that route, so people to see what the extremes are, and then get more detailed as we go from there. So here's what I would suggest if you're coming here and you don't know anybody, or you don't have any frame of reference at all. Number one is go to Redfin. Redfin is, to me, the best home search of the national home search apps. You can search based on price. So let's just say, for example, you're looking for a house and it's between $450,000 and $600,000. Totally random, but let's just say that as an example. So it's populating all the houses on the market right now in that price range. However, what I do is, when I'm trying to help someone relocate to the area and pick out neighborhoods that are the best for them, I'm looking at houses that have sold. And the reason is because right now, if you go to just see a list of houses that are on the market right now, it might not give you the best perspective on what's possible when it's actually time for you to move. Go for looking at houses that have sold in the last 3 months. Sold in the last 3 months will give you enough of a balanced assortment, and also keeps the values about the same as where they are currently today, generally speaking. So you're looking at, let's just say, for example, you're looking at this $600,000 max price range. Change the criteria. Instead of it being $450,000 to $600,000, narrow that down and start at the top of the price range. Go from $550,000 to $600,000, switch there. But then in addition to that, go to the square footage and do a search for square footage on the low end of tolerable, meaning, I'm just using this as an example, 1,700 to 2,500 square feet. And so what does that do? That brings you down to 13 houses that have sold in the last 3 months in that price range in all of Virginia Beach in this situation. One thing you'll often find is, if you pay a lot more for a house and it's smaller, one of the things you get in exchange for that size decrease is often a more in-demand neighborhood. For sake of conversation, that is one of the biggest factors, and so that's why I suggest starting with a higher price, lower size house, and see what areas populate. And that will give you an idea of, okay, in my price range, this is probably generally speaking, a good neighborhood to check out, as far as, to me, the most in-demand neighborhood in my price range, period. And then just take notes and see what you think. And so in this case, Thorogood is a good example of that in this $450,000 to $600,000 price range, and it does check that box. So I would consider maybe just driving through Thorogood while I'm here in the northwestern section. So I've now created the high end of my guardrail, or my bookend set, so to speak. And so then I'm going to switch it. I'm going to go to, let's just say, make that the low end of the price range, 450 to, let's just say, 500. Then I'm going to change the size of house from 250, let's just say, up to 4,000. I'm just trying to categorize it more and get the higher end. So now what I'm doing is I'm looking and saying, okay, based on all the price ranges that I'm looking at in neighborhoods, this one I can get more, probably more house for the money in here, but I might be giving up in exchange. So then I'll look and see, okay, well, in my price range, Ridgely Manor pops up, as well as Cypress Point over to its west. These are neighborhoods I would put on there as well as examples to check out. This would help figure out how much I'm willing to go down in price to get a neighborhood that I like and the size house that I like, comparing to how much do I want to go higher in price to get the more in demand neighborhood, for example, and how much am I willing to give up size for. And so you're trying to find the balance of neighborhood, size of house, style of house, all that. And so to get the best neighborhoods to see right away, this is a good example of how to do that to start with. Do the exact same for every section: north central, north east, and then south, all the south as well. So by the end of this, you'll have about 15 to 20 different neighborhoods that are either on the higher end of your price range or the lower end of your price range that you can see to get a good perspective of your areas. So the things I want you to focus on as well while you're here and doing this route and creating this for yourself is check out some specific things. One is jet noise. How do you feel in the areas that have a lot of jet noise? And the best way to find that out as far as where the jet noise is going to be is the ACU's noise map, which is a whole map of Virginia Beach that shows you where the highest jet noise is most likely to be. And so you can search on here, and you can just type in AICUZ Virginia Beach, and it will populate the link that has this map on it. And then you can go in and look and say, okay, well, if I'm looking at, for example, Hilltop, and so Hilltop's right here, there's Hilltop Manor. I have a specific address I have in mind. Well, you can find out where on the map that address lies. And the darker the color, the more intense or the louder there's a chance of more jets or louder jets in that area, and so probably more frequency as well. If you can come to the area on a weekday, especially if it's a weekend, go like on a Friday to start, because you'll hear more jets frequently on the weekdays from my experience, and so that would give you a better perspective. In addition to that, make sure you know what shopping centers are nearby those neighborhoods that you're picking, because those are the ones you'll be going to frequently. For example, if you're in Great Neck, for example, check out where Hilltop is, which is one of the biggest neighborhood or biggest spots anywhere for shopping on the eastern side of Virginia Beach, or even going further north up Great Neck. There's some shopping, like some strip malls and whatnot. See what your common commute will look like back and forth. If you're looking specifically in Virginia Beach or in the south side specifically, I'd check out Norfolk as well, downtown Norfolk, because if you are planning to live in Virginia Beach or the south side, Chesapeake, even Norfolk, downtown Norfolk and Ghent are so different, so unique compared to the rest of the Hampton Roads area, that you're going to probably find yourself, if you do like the vibes in there at all, which is walkable, restaurants, shops, just more of a smaller kind of a communal environment, you'll find yourself going there even if you don't live in Norfolk. If you're playing specifically to Virginia Beach, check out the rec centers. There are 7 rec centers in all of Virginia Beach, and because of those rec centers are there, you don't have to go to the Y unless you really want to. And for just over $100 a year, you can have a membership to the Virginia Beach Rec Centers and access to all of them. And so to me, it's one of the best deals of just being a resident in Virginia Beach that you can get. I would check out Town Center because it's the closest to a downtown that there is in Virginia Beach, and you don't have to drive to downtown Norfolk to get that same experience. It's a smaller, much smaller kind of vibe, but it's just better than what there was before, which was not much. And now give yourself about 2 days to just drive the neighborhoods. The driving might take you anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, upwards of 6 to 8 hours. I'd break it up into 2 days if you can. If not, you can go through it in a day and you can get it done, but it's just a lot of drives. And if you have questions, you can feel free to ask me those questions about how to do that in each city, because I do this for people all the time, all the way from Virginia Beach, all the way through Williamsburg. And I have those videos up here that are the ones that you should watch in conjunction with this one if you do plan to take a visit to Virginia Beach to live live here in the future. If you have any questions about relocating here, let me know. I'd love to help you. I have my contact information in the description. You can reach out to me at any point, and I'll do whatever I can to help you relocate to the area. And I will see you on the next video.